3 ways to max out your productivity right now. Guys, this is Eric Ho here, international speaker, entrepreneur, and best-selling author. And in this short video I have for you today, I'm going to share with you 3 very, very efficient ways that you can start applying straight away into your life to increase your productivity flow so that you can actually get stuff done and start getting results, right? A lot of people look at me today and they think, Eric, how is it that you're able to run multiple companies across multiple sectors, from the food industry to the recycling industry to recently, and some of you may have seen the video of me walking the runway at Paris fashion show. So how have I got into fashion as well? And how do I actually do all of this stuff? Organize my time. And the thing is this, most people, what they say is they say, oh, but the thing is this, it doesn't, like, this stuff can't be learned because they don't understand this stuff. The stuff that I'm going to share with you in this video, what people say is they say, I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. And you may be one of those people who have said at one point before, I don't have time. I would love to, but I don't have the time to do it. But the question really is this, how is it that you have world-class leaders out there? You have people like Richard Branson, who has over 400 companies, and they have time to go like jet skiing and stuff, and you don't have time, because we're all given the same amount of time, right? Oprah Winfrey, President Obama, we all have 24 hours in a day. So what is the difference? It's the way we use our time, right? Never say, I don't have time, right? Always say, I will make time, as long as it's your priority and it takes you closer to the goal that you want to reach, okay? So the first thing I want to get into is this thing here. And this is quite funny in some ways, but it's very, very powerful, and it's very, very true. It's what people don't want to listen to, because most of our time in today's world, think about it. How do we spend it? Let me tell you how we spend it. We spend it doing this thing here. Most of the time, in fact, I was walking along the street today and people look like zombies today. People walk around like this. They don't even look at people anymore. There's no connection with people anymore, because this is how people walk around. People cross the road like this. People drive cars like this. People walk in the street like this. This is what they do on a daily basis. In fact, with all the finger exercises they do with this finger, their finger should be very powerful right now. It's crazy. And what does this mean? It means when people say they don't have time, most of their time is doing what? Step number 1, you want to increase your productivity. You want to be more productive in life? You want to save time? You want to be more efficient? Very simple. Stop spending time doing stupid shit. This is the reality. What are we doing? We say we want our goals so bad. We say we want to hit our results so bad. But most of the time, we're spending it doing stupid shit. Things that don't empower us. How many of you have ever did this before? You sit there, you're scrolling on Facebook, a couple of hours pass by, you look at the time, you think, OMG, what is going on? Right? What did we do? Did it take us closer to our goal? Most likely not. How many times we do this and we're not empowering ourselves, right? So the thing is this, if you're going to watch anything, and by the way, if you're going to watch anything, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because you subscribe to this channel, every time we teach you these things, this is what empowers you and takes you closer to your goal. Not watching a panda fall off a tree. That's not going to take you any closer to your goal. So rule number one, stop spending time doing stupid shit. And if you're going to spend time doing stupid shit, let me tell you something. Don't complain that you don't have time, right? Don't complain that you don't have time. Accept that most of your time you're sitting doing this, okay? The second point, this is a very, very, very powerful method that I learned from a great friend of mine, Jarek Robbins, okay? And what he said is this is called the hard, easy method. Now, what is the hard, easy method? Very, very simple. If you look at how we structure our time, when I started to apply this, my life started to change straight away. My productivity went up like tenfold overnight just by understanding this logic here. If you think about it, every single day, how do we spend our time? Most of our time is spent doing in the morning. Do we do the easy stuff first, or do we do the hard stuff first on average? Think about it a second. Most of the time when we wake up, first things we do we do what we feel is easy to us, or do we do what's hard to us? We always do the easy stuff first, right? In fact, most of the time, we always do the easy stuff. The hard stuff we never really get around to. The hard stuff is the stuff that we don't really want to do, right? And so when we wake up in the morning, what do? We do all the easy stuff. Then what happens is time will pass by. And then what happens is, and that easy, that hard stuff that we don't want to do, The difficult stuff is probably making that phone call to that person, to that client, to that customer, to that friend, right? To that partner that you don't want to speak to right now. That's the hard thing, right? To that family member that you don't want to speak to right now. That's probably the hard thing on your task, but that's probably priority. That's probably something that you know needs to be done right now. For some of you, it may be paying some bills or maybe registering for some account. Those of you who don't like admin stuff like me, right? I'm a creative mind. So us who don't like admin stuff, when we need to fill in forms and stuff, that stresses me out. So that becomes my hard stuff. But it's priority because when we don't fill it in, then they fine us, they give us penalties, and then we end up paying all this money out and getting really stressed out. But understand what we are doing when we are working easy hard. So when we do easy things first, what we're doing is we are working, and you've probably had this experience before, around the clock. We do all the easy stuff. Why do we do the easy stuff first? Because we feel accomplishment. We feel like, oh yes, win, okay? I just hoovered the floor. I just wiped the table. They're the easy stuff, right? And you get instant gratification, instant fulfillment, and that's why we do that. But what happens is, then it comes on 4 p.m., 5 p.m. When it gets to the 5 p.m. stage, something very phenomenal happens. When it gets to 5 p.m., we usually say, well, it's got to 5 p.m. already. Maybe I'll make the phone call tomorrow instead. Now, how many of you have ever had that experience? And let me ask you a question. When does tomorrow come? Tomorrow never comes. It just keeps stacking. And this is why I say when you go easy hard method, right? If you live easy hard right now, and that's the way you're living, you need to make this shift and you need to make this now. Why? Because you are stress stacking. It's a rollover of stress. This stress is going on in your subconscious mind. You know deep down inside right now, I'm sure while you're watching this video, you know some things you need to do right now that you haven't done yet, right? And by the way, if you're going to do that thing now, make sure also to give this a like and subscribe before you go and do that thing, right? Because the thing is this, you need to understand we are most of the time working easy hard. In fact, the hard stuff we never get around to and we keep stacking it, pushing it backwards. So what if it was a very, very simple method where it's called the hard easy method? What does this mean? Every morning, commit, make a conscious decision to say, I'm going to work from now on hard, easy. Meaning the first hour of the day, the first 2 hours of the day, the first 3 hours of the day, I'm going to put all the hard stuff first, all the priority stuff first. And you will find most of the time, the things that you don't get around to doing is actually just a 5-minute job. It's actually just a 2-minute phone call to a person who you really don't want to speak to right now. It's probably just a form that you need to fill in, which will take 5-10 minutes to fill in, and then it's done. But then the beauty about hard easy method is that every morning, if we live like this, the hard stuff is done within the first few hours. And then what happens to the day? We find that the days get easier and easier and easier. Imagine that feeling. Being able to feel that, wow, days are getting easier and easier. Why is it so relaxed these days, right? It's because you're living the hard, easy method. So make sure you write this down. Make sure to commit to it. Write it on your wall. Put it there. Say, I am going to commit to living hard, easy from today, right? So that's the hard, easy method. The final thing, okay, number 3, is probably the most important thing of all when I talk about leadership, when I talk about what I do on a daily basis. When I explain to a lot of my students around the world, I say, how is it that I get to travel the world and be able to run all these businesses at the same time? It's down to this thing here. And the saying is, leaders create leaders. I believe that every single one of you who are watching this video right now, you have leadership characteristics within you. Okay? The only thing is, we need to start building this tribe around us, this team around us, this family around us, who are there to support us. And how do we do it? We do it by a very, very simple process of understanding that we need to recruit people onto our vision. We need to develop these people, give them the space to shine. And then what happens is we are just overlooking and supporting. And if we do this in leadership, it becomes very powerful. Why? Because the key word we are doing as leaders is we are leveraging. We are not just leveraging other people's time, other people's passion, other people's knowledge, other people's skills and expertise. We are also leveraging, right? We are also leveraging and giving them a space to shine and creating leaders here. The more leaders you create around you, notice that I don't believe leaders create followers. Leaders create leaders. That's how you free up your time. Because when you bring the best out of other people around you, when you're able to lead and just motivate them, inspire them to be the best versions of themselves, then every single day, everyone around you is so motivated towards their goal, which could then accompany your goal, and then you can bring out the best out of other people, and then that will free up a lot of your time and make your work a lot more productive. Remember the word leverage. Leaders create leaders. Anyway guys, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give a huge thumbs up. Give some comments below if you have any thoughts or anything you want me to cover that are related to this topic. And make sure, definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button and make sure to hit the alert button so you see all our posts whenever we have the new videos pop up, because we do a few videos a week empowering you in different areas of business, of spirituality, being the best version of yourself. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and remember to subscribe, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.